Hello folks, it's Phil the Miniature Model Maker coming to you with part 6 of the EXS build. And here we go, just waiting for it to show up on the stream. Just to make sure that we're actually going. There we are, fantastic. So we're continuing on with our arm, shoulder, and gun piece. Oh, no. I've got to mute myself again. I ended up watching someone else. There we go. That's good stuff. So many things. So you professional streamers, I admire you keeping all this stuff in organized. There we go. Okay. And one last thing, live now. There we are, and perfect. Welcome to the chat room, everybody. So the part I'm working on now is the arm. I've done gluing and initial work on these parts because I tried to do another stream earlier, but due to uploading the last stream to YouTube, it would not let me start another stream because OBS is tied to my YouTube account, and I do a workaround to get over here on Twitch. And let's have a bit of a drink. There we are. Good stuff. Water, good. Instead of the coffee that I drink all the time. So here we are. We are almost done with this part. And we're going to be in pretty good shape, I think. Oh, was that detail supposed to be? That was actually supposed to be a detail and not something that I sand down. Oh well, it's getting sanded down on this hand too. Let's see, do I still have some strong sandpaper? I may have to. Yep, I do. I need to get a bit more sandpaper. And that's fine. Is this one? Ooh, that'll work right there. So, what are you guys up to today? Anything interesting? Me, me either. I'm just working on this Gundam. This little artifact of mine. This little kid of mine. I'm gonna make it shine. And I want to make it shine. Definitely do. And let's see. Oh yeah, that's working out nicely. So yeah, earlier while I was off stream, I ended up watching some of Uncle Adam over at Tabletop Minions. He's working on his Trench Crusade stuff, and if you're interested in the tabletop hobby with somebody who's been in wargaming for a long time, is involved in the industry, knows a lot of stuff, and is just an all-around gent, good man, I highly recommend checking out Tabletop Minions. He's great. And when it comes to painting, he's not a high-end painter. He's good at building. He's an excellent teacher of things for the hobby, a great advocate for the miniatures and tabletop gaming hobby. But if you're looking for paint tips, he will admit himself that there are others who are better. And he often cites his good friend Sam Lenz, who is quite the painter. So that's another channel. I think it's Sam Lenz Artwork. Lenz. I have got to check him out. See if I can find him on here. So that's another guy who's worth the follow. I wonder if we're going to get another visitor like we did with Kingslayer earlier. That was kind of cool. Okay, that's an actual part. And this we can clean up like that. Here we are. And we have to, like always folks, bring down the tabs. Here we go. So let's, while it's just me here, let's talk about some pain points on this kit when you're assembling it. Ooh. Oh, that's right, I cut you off. Okay. So we'll go over the instructions real quick. There really isn't a whole lot on this kit. They did a pretty good job in designing it. The only thing you want to look out for is on my camera will actually handle that now. Is on steps 5 and 6. Make sure that you have this part oriented correctly. The pegs are down towards the bottom. They're not in the middle. And you want the pegs going into the bottom. And there is an R and an L, so they're labeled right and left, and also labeled right and left on the inside of these to match them. But the pegs on part 57 and part 52 are angled, which puts the thrusters at a particular orientation that matches here. So if you flip the part over, or if you have 57, if you have the right one on the left side and the left one on the right side, it's not going to work. It'll still be in there, but it won't look quite right. That happened to me when I built Bob the Crash Test Dummy. And also, 50 and 51 and 48 and 49 need to go into their respective sides. If you don't, your orientation will be all screwed up. And that's what happened here. These are not glued. So looking at this piece, this peg hole is larger than this peg hole. And this peg hole has a cut out of the corner. So looking at the pegs, the thicker peg, square peg, without the corner cut out of it, goes in that side. If I can get it back in. And the thinner peg with the corner cut out of it goes into the other hole. and that keeps them at the proper orientation. And then having the correct part number keeps the design element facing the direction it's intended. So your tab, this, should be facing outwards. That's your main pain point on this kit, other than the head, and the heads are always tricky. There's nothing fun there. Oh, hello, there's a second viewer. How are you? You feel like chatting with us today? Alright, so there's that. And that is actually good. Oop, I need to glue. So we've got this here. And let's just make sure that it's completely clean. Oh, we lost you. Thanks for visiting, person. Can I? There we go. Okay. And we just need to crack it a little bit to make sure we can get glue in there. And I may have taken those pegs down just a little bit too much. We're going to find out here in a moment. And as long as you don't have the pieces smushed totally together, like right up next to each other, if you're careful with the glue on your brush and gently run it along the join line, the extra thin cement will soak in. Capillary action will pull it in. And squeeze. There we go. That arm is done. So that means everything except for this one has been taken care of. So we're going to take the instructions, put them aside, and just crack this open and start cleaning on it. Here we go. We're going. There we go. Okay. Nice. So you see, here is the R for the right side one. You want that facing up, and you want your pegs to be facing down. To be downward. And this is a hard piece to get out. I might just try dealing with it here. Nope, I can't. I've got to pull it out because these pegs stick up farther than there, and that'll make it difficult to clean the edge. And now, get the chisel. Plop. There we go. All of our parts right here. So we'll start with this because I can just use the knife on that. Since it's already mostly internal, we really don't need to do much cleaning on it. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. But I am going to shave some of the top off this part. Thin it up a bit to make sure that the top and bottom of this thruster fit together flushly. So if you're here watching this in the future, please don't forget to hit that follow button and go over to my YouTube page. That's Miniature Model Maker, just like it is here, and hit the subscribe over there too. I do generally, if I stream over here, I upload it over there, but I also do content over there that I don't do here. So not, it's not any ploy to get people to subscribe on multiple platforms. It's just sometimes it's easier for me to throw on a stream over here on Twitch and make a video and upload it over there if YouTube is being silly for some reason. And of course, when the time comes and I want to do edited content, that will always happen over there at YouTube, because you can't really do edited videos, upload videos here on Twitch. Okay, that's good enough. Now let's clean these. So in a previous video, I went through and smoothed down this textured rim around the thruster because the cleaning up the sprue join got rid of the detail along near where that sprue is, and I like consistency. It bothered me that there were two smooth sections and then the rest had molded detail on them. So I'm like, nope, forget that. I'm just gonna scrape it all down and make this area a smooth rim. And with the back of this knife, it's really easy to do. Just scrape, 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 scrape. That's all. And then we hit it with a little bit of sandpaper. We should, in theory, be good. 20 minutes on on the video. So we've got 40 minutes left. Can I finish this part in 40 minutes? Oof, I don't know. Maybe? That might be a little tricky. Because there's a fair amount of cleaning to go along with this part. Oh, hello person, how are you? Welcome, welcome. What brings you here today? And just there is a delay with chat, so please keep that in mind if you send a message. I am not ignoring you. I'm making Gundam Artifact Phase 1 Model 2, the EXS. This is the first of many. Oh, bye-bye. I wonder how many times I'm going to have to say that. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. There we go. Alright, and then we do the same thing. Sand it down. I'm going to have to replace the paper on these here in just a minute. Hope I can get through this part, this whole assembly here piece, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Is there a better... So sanding is nice. It gives me a second to look up at the screen and make sure see if people are here or not, which is pretty good for me. part is done. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so now pegs. I'm going to take these pegs down just a little bit and these two a bit more. This holds that in. Alright, now these. And you can really crank down on these pegs here, because they're what hold it together. But there are big peg holes here where they'll hold nicely. We're also going to bring this one down just a bit. Here we go. And now the fun. Smoothing this part down. There are some parts that are molded upwards here, and then parts down excuse me, down here that are not, and bringing those, reducing those a little bit helps the two parts sit together more flushly. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, I'm going to go through with the little bitty sanding stick and touch up the sprue marks. Because it's a whole lot easier to do these now than in the future once they're together. They're still not terribly hard, but it's easier now. Okay. Let's see how this goes. And if we're in good shape, then we can put the other part back in. Oh, yep, I thought so. Sometimes the filing deforms the top a little bit and it needs to be cleaned up. But that is easily enough accomplished with a bit of application of the knife back. Plump, plump, plump. Here we go, and push. And that, my friends, is as flush as we're going to get. There's still some very small gaps. But for this piece, that's good. Now, push that in. And are there any? Yes, there are. So we're going to make sure here, before we put the parts together and the thrusters get in the way, that this back section has been cleaned up. Because once those thrusters are in, the access is limited. Okay. And if you're building yours and you just want to do a snap fit, you don't have to go to these lengths. It all depends on how particular you are about your details and parts sitting flush and everything. Okay. But even with the basic no paint, no frills build, I do suggest cleaning it up as much as you can. Because after building all of these without doing that, there are times when I wish I had, and that would make assembly much easier, and it just looks better in the long run. So you don't have to glue everything, but there are parts, and when there will come times when I say glue this, and that's a matter of structural integrity, and not don't glue it just because. Thankfully, we don't have anything like that. That's not true. We do have something like that on this build. We've got 4 parts like that on this build. These little things that go along the legs, and then these little things here should be glued on, because they will come off. Oftentimes they'll come off while you're just trying to put the model together, period. Like sticking the arms on, sticking the legs on. There are a lot of parts like that in these kits that can be troublesome when just trying to attach limbs to the torso. Here we go. Nice. And there's really not much of a way around it on this part. There's a very thin, maybe 0.1 millimeter detail molded all the way around the edge. If you're cleaning this part, getting this mold line off, you're going to take a portion of that off. I just have not found any way whatsoever to avoid that, even with very gentle sanding with a high grit paper. So be prepared to do a little bit of rescribing if that's what you're doing, or just be prepared to have the detail be not there. And it's very small, so if you're not painting these, there's a good chance that you might not even notice that it's gone. This right here is a case of what I call soft molding or pour molding. There's a little straight detail piece that is small enough that the plastic around it in the mold kind of made it look just like a screw up. It's not a nice flat surface on any of the ends or panels near it. It makes it look like you should just take it off, but you shouldn't. It's meant to be there. All four of them have it. Sometimes you just got to do a little scraping and repairing to make the detail stand out again. And then gentle, gentle, gentle. Okay. Can we smooth that out, though? That's the real question. Will the sandpaper work without hitting the other part? Maybe. Maybe we just need to use the blade. Time is it? Oh, we got 22 minutes. We are in good shape, folks. I think we might even get the scribing today, which is exciting stuff. Here, that's good enough. Let's see, how does this one look? Yeah, this one's a whole lot better. Sometimes one little part, one little section of one little part is just kind of messed up. And that's just injection molding for you, especially in a soft plastic. Maybe one of these days I should do a little video showing the various structures and properties of some of these plastics. That would be kind of neat. Just stretch my chemistry knowledge to the max, because that's all organic chemistry. Blech. Yep, organic chemistry was probably my most difficult subject in school. That and physics too, where it was all optics and electromagnetism. But part of that was the instructor. And the other part was me. I think that might be all we're going to get after I clean this little part off. We will have to see how it looks after priming. Oh, dang it. Please tell me I didn't glue these guys in. No, I didn't. Good. Okay, so in they go. And that, my friends, is the completion of the kit. So let's get the tools out of the way. And kind of put it back together. Kind of, sort of. And what am I doing now? I am cutting little tabs off the edge of this piece here so I can slide it in and out of the shoulder that it belongs to. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to put it back together because I've glued the shoulders shut. Alright, here we go. There's the body. Let's get our backpack together. And again, these have cutouts on the sides, so we know where they go, which is a nice touch, I have to say. If I can, well, heck, okay, there we go. There's that. Now the body, we will go ahead and put our legs in. Dot, 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 dot. And don't be surprised if parts fall off while you do this, because I have not glued it, or you have not glued it. That is very likely to happen. Okay. And this arm goes in this side. And this arm is always more difficult than the other one. There. And also very likely to break. Just like happened with Bob the crash test dummy. So we're going to have to go back through, and can I just glue it? let's see if glue works here. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it won't just dissolve the remaining connection, which, yep, that's what's happened. Okay, so be careful there. That arm is not friendly to get in. But we can still put our shoulder on there. Here we go. Will this actually go up in there and stay? Probably not, because well, yes. All right, back you go. And remember, I've modified these pieces with the expectation that they're going to be glued. So this falling apart like this as I'm putting it together is to be expected. And I wouldn't normally put it together until after I've painted it. But I wanted to show you all what I was talking about. And to have a mostly finished model to cap the stream off with. And I don't even have particularly big fingers. They're not sausages or anything like that. They're just normal size men's fingers. But these things are so dang small that there we go. There's our kit. It's a lovely kit. And now it's time to do some repairs and prepping for painting. So thank you very much for watching this. I have been Phil, the Miniature Model Maker, coming to you with part 6 of the initial detail build for this kit here, Gundam Artifact Phase 1, Model 2. In the next videos, we will be seeing how I scribe these, talking about that, and getting the parts ready for priming and then cleaning after that. So thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to hit that follow if you're over here on Twitch, or if you're on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe. It really does help to make other people aware that this Gundam Artifact content exists, and would be a great way to help us build a community and build more interest in these wonderful model kits. So thank you very much, and remember, this is a hobby. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. Be good to yourselves. Bye-bye.